antagonists behind this Me Too movement, or as I like to call it, the Re-Too movement, is a washed-up actress who's walled out and stalled out. She hit the wall coming out of hyperspace a long time ago, and she was a shit actress. The only reason she got put into parts is one, because she chose, mind you, she chose to sleep with Harvey Weinstein, and she was attractive at the time, so she got put in the TV and the films. And the other one, Asia Argento, is just a massive thought. She's a super slut. And I think she's the one that drove Bourdain to suicide. And, well, he was also a pussy too, so both things had something to do with it. But this whole Me Too bullshit is just a money-making thing for these old, used-up Hollywood thoughts. Because if you notice, and on my previous channel, I did videos about this, actresses like, what's her name? I forgot her name. Just, we'll call her, walled out and stalled out thought number 624. They're all old. They're all walled out and stalled out. You look at the Bill Cosby rape witch hunt, and he's going to prison because of this. And most of these women that were accusing him of sexual assault are old. They're walled out and stalled out. The one model actress, Angie Dickerson, or whatever the fuck her name is, was facing massive debt. She was audited by the IRS. She owes the IRS a lot of money. You look at, like, for example, and this is not Me Too related, but it is related, Pamela Anderson, who's saying that porn is dangerous for men. The hypocrisy is, when she was young and hot, she made her fortune off of doing porn, posing for Playboy, getting to act. Well, she had no talent in that television series Baywatch, as we used to call it, Boob Watch. And now that they're old, used up, nobody wants to have anything to do with them. Nobody wants to cast them anymore. All of a sudden, they were victims. Listen and believe, Re-Too, feminazi bullshit.
And it will be no going.
And once again, all these guys, they all look like a bunch of cucks anyway. They look like soy boys. You got the a guy on the left side right there. It looks like a lumbersexual, and a real lumberjack would stomp his ass up one side of the street and down the other. Because I doubt that guy's ever chopped a cord of wood, much less a piece of wood. Then you got the guy sitting on the right of on the left of the old man. He looks like a total soy boy. He's probably a closet case. And then notice the old man sitting there with his elbows crossed. He's probably thinking, what in the actual fuck is this bullshit? What in the actual fuck is this crap? What happened to men being men? Moving on.
Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need hope of men.
You know what? Other men do hold other men accountable, you dipshit. Now, the deal with Terry Crews is he claims, and there's probably no doubt about it, that he was sexually harassed by some of the gay men in Hollywood. But men already do hold men accountable. That's the fuck. When has that not been the case? Now, if you really want to look at the truth of the matter, men, especially in this day and age, never hold women accountable. The vast majority of men, I'm not talking about the guys that are woke, I'm not talking about MGTOWs, SYBM, and maybe IGMOR to a certain extent. I'm talking about the blue pill cucks in general, the Sims, the white knights, the cucksurges, the trad cucks, manginas, and soy boys. They never hold women accountable. I mean, this is a complete total 180 inversion of reality right here when Terry Crews is saying that, because men do hold men accountable. They hold them accountable every day.
To say the right thing.
Yeah, and you know what? If that dude came up and started fucking getting into my business, I'd be like, "What the fuck? Who the fuck you talking to? The fuck you looking at? Get the fuck out of here! Tell him to go fuck off." And there have been a few instances where I had to tell other guys to go fuck off, because it's none of his business. These women are supposedly strong and independent. Why couldn't she have just said something to him instead of having Mr. White Knight come up there and get into his business? Maybe trying to encourage her, maybe trying to, get her to change her frame of mind. Because, things can be going to shit, but if you just keep dwelling on everything going to shit instead of looking at the good things, you're going to be one miserable son of a bitch. Well, and she probably is a miserable bitch. Probably a cluster B clusterfuck. Who knows? But, you're going to come up and get into my business, dude? Trust me. one or two things are going to happen. I'm going to cuss you out, or I'm just going to fucking deck you in the face and drop your ass like a bad habit. All right, let's continue with this bullshit.
Act the right way.
Dude. So what? Women like being catcalled. Pretty women like being catcalled. I'm sorry, I don't care what the feminazis say. I don't care what any of them say. You know, once again, I don't know if I may not have mentioned this, but how women like being catcalled. They like the attention. That's why they dress in skimpy clothing. That's why they dress like whores. And if you don't want to get catcalled, don't dress like a whore. I'm sorry. It's a simple fact of life. All right, because she's dressing those tight clothes because she wants to get attention. She wants to, get noticed. If she dressed more modestly, if she didn't wear such tight clothes, she wouldn't get catcalled. And this guy with the earring, this black guy with the earring in his ears, coming out and trying to check this white guy for a catcall on him. And for one thing, if you know about the kind of the gay subculture, when you have earrings in both ears, that was generally a signal that you're a homo. But this guy coming out and checking him, it's like, you put your hands on me, dude. And I don't know you. I'm either gonna punch you or I'm gonna drop a fucking knife in your neck. Okay, I'm gonna fuck you up one way or the other. Put your hands on me, you're fucking done. You may kick my ass, but I'm not just gonna let you put your hands on me. And this white knight had no business rolling out there trying to check this guy. I mean, give me a goddamn break. Give me a damn break. Bro, you're gonna be on the ground fucking spitting up some teeth and choking on your own fucking blood. I'm sorry, that just doesn't fly. No man should ever come up and put his hands on another man unless he knows that man closely. Now, if it was one of my close friends, he'd probably get cussed the fuck out. But my close friends wouldn't do that to me. They may make a smart-ass remark or clown me a little bit, but they wouldn't, but they wouldn't put their hands on me. And this guy, he's asking for trouble because I've always said, and I'll say it again, and I don't really give a shit, a knife to the neck will put a white knight in check.
Some already know. The way is big and small.
Okay, let's go back to that. I actually don't have a problem with that because it's two guys. There's some beef, and the older gentleman, he's like, "Hey man, let's settle this beef. It's no need to get out of it. It's no need to escalate at this point." Now, who knows what the beef was over? But you know what? The old man's like, "Let's make peace. Let's have peace. Let's not let this blow out of proportion." I don't have a problem with that. That's actually the only good thing so far that I see in this video. That's the only good thing I've seen so far. And I think that will probably be the only good thing that I see in this video. There's nothing wrong with the elder stepping in there and saying, hey, to these youngsters, trying to be somewhat of a mentor and trying to give these guys some guidance. Because I bet these two young men, they come from single parent households and they didn't have a dad in their life to help guide them and teach them self-control and how to resolve beef like men resolve beef. So this guy, he's stepping in, but it's a thankless job because most of these goddamn single mothers, as soon as you try to mentor and help their sons out, their bastard sons out, they want to come up and say shit like, you're not the boy's daddy. And so most guys are just like, well, why even fucking bother if it's going to be like that? All right, let's continue with this bullshit.
And small.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to that. I am strong. And I hope he isn't teaching his daughter that she could just roll up with some guy and crack his ass and not suffer the consequences. Because you know what, bitches, if you talk shit and you start shit, you're going to get hit. Because I'm all for equal rights and less. But I hope he's not teaching her that she can roll up on some guy that's like 230 pounds of solid muscle and just hit him and not expect to get flattened out on the pavement and knocked the fuck out. Because there was this video that shows these BT-1000s, to quote Tommy Sotomayor, running around this guy, and these little teenage little bitches were starting shit with this guy, and they're fucking harassing him and his family. He just cracked her and dropped her like a bad habit. Now, here's another thing. Let's envision this scenario. If this guy has a son, is he up there with his son telling his son, I'm strong, I'm powerful, and all this other stuff? Or is he just doing this with his daughter? Because my dad, if you've watched videos on my previous channel, my dad was a super simp. He was a super simp. He always gave my sister more priority than me, and every time we got into a fight, whether I started or not, I still got punished because he said, you're older, and you're the man, you should know better. So he was a total simp. So don't mess me with this bullshit.
But some.
Yeah, and that kid and the guy breaking up the fight, that's what normally happens. That's what men normally do when something's getting out of hand. Now, you know who didn't break up a fight when I was a kid? My mom, and I'll tell you this story. And we'll go off on a little bit of a trip into Tangieville here. When I was a kid, 10 years old, there was this kid in my class, and he was somewhat developmentally disabled. Now, I'm not going to use the word retard because that would be derogatory, and it's a mean thing to say. But this kid was developmentally disabled. Once again, I'm not going to use the word retard because, like I said, that's it's not politically correct. It's not cool. It's not right. We were in the school bus. We drive up to my place because this kid been picking on me for a minute, and the bus driver got us out of the bus. My mom came out, and they had us fight it out in my front yard. Talk about my white trash upbringing, because my mom was the WT 700, otherwise known as the White Terminatrix, the 700 edition. And we were fighting it out, right? Now, a man would break that shit up immediately, and he'd be like, no way, but my mom was like, you're going to fight it out, beat his ass. And the kid was bigger than me, he was stronger than me. And I'll tell you something, you know what I did? And this is how you have to handle bullies sometimes, is the phone rang, I ran into the house, I picked up the phone and I said, nobody's here to take your call, click. I grabbed an aluminum baseball bat, I went back outside, and I swung that motherfucker, I swung for the fences, I swung for his head, and I bashed him in the head really hard a couple of times, but it didn't do any damage. So finally I got him to back off by smashing him in the kneecap. And that's what gets back to what I said earlier about dealing with bullies, because you're not always going to kick a bully's ass. Sometimes they're going to kick your ass, but you make them work for that ass beating, and after a while, they're going to get tired of that crap, and they're going to lay off you. So after I cracked him in the kneecap as hard as I could, he limped off. And after that, for the rest of the time we were in school together, he did not mess with me one single bit. He left me to hell alone after that point. I mean, he talked a little bit of shit here and there, but he never stepped up and attacked me. He never got up in my grill. He left me alone. That's because I made him work for it. I backed him off. And yeah, sometimes you do need an equalizer, but that's a story for another time and another day. All right, let's move on.
Is not enough.
Don't treat each other.
Wait a minute, hold the fuck on. Let's back that up right there. All right, we're backing it up. There we go. That's not how we treat each other. Once again, we don't know what the circumstances were in this scenario. Well, okay, let me clarify. In the context of the propaganda piece they're doing on this indoctrination bullshit they're framing it as the kid that was on top of the other kids bullying him and picking on him. But I can envision other scenarios where they're just roughhousing, or the kid on the ground started some shit. He was getting his comeuppance, but dad comes over and breaks up the fight. That's how I look at it. Because you could read into this any way you want. You could read into this 10,000 different ways. Or maybe, like I said before, they're just roughhousing. All right, let's continue.
Okay.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
No, they're not going to be men. They're going to be a bunch of pussified, soy boy, soft face having cucks. They're going to be a bunch of pussies. They're going to be just little wimps that don't know how to fight back, that don't know how to stick up for themselves. Physically, figuratively, they don't know how to fight in where it's verbal arguments, where it's physical, whatever. They don't know how to do it. They'll lack the skills on how to resolve this stuff and how to fight back. Because I got to tell you something. For most men, life is just one big knockout, drag out fight from the time you're born until the time you die. That's just the way it is. That's just life for most men. It is what it is. It's just the circumstances. It's the way things are. And if you don't grow up and become a man, and you don't learn how to fight back, period, whether it be, like I said, whether it be physical, whether it be verbal, mentally, or emotionally, you're just going to be just one of these pathetic cucks that get walked over by everybody. You're going to be the pathetic linguini spine, jelly back, milksop wimp. Yeah, we're like the best a cut can get. So now that the thing's ending, they're rolling through the credits. All right. Okay, but basically the people that did this video are people from the Good Men Project, or as we like to call it, the Good Mangina Project, the Young Turds with Anna Consparian, and other leftist SJW organizations. The goal of all this, not just as Gillette ad, but the attack of masculinity is the underlying masculinity. Because who protects the tribe? Who protects the nation? It's men. It's not males. It's not wussified, soft-face having soy boys. It's men. And how do you conquer a nation? You either kill the men or you emasculate them. And this is all part, and I hate to sound like Alex Jones and sound like a conspiracy theorist. This is how you undermine a civilization. For one thing, you destroy the basic building block of civilization, which is the family. The other way is you destroy masculinity, either by outright killing the men and the children and the boys of under over a certain age. And then what you replace them with is you put the women in charge, and they basically beat up on the boys and they indoctrinate them into being soft and pussified. And that's how you keep a civilization down. It's how you maintain control. So all this is just part of undermining Western civilization, and it's working. I hate to say it, it's working. It's pretty sad and pretty pathetic. But this is what's going on in this short film, this propaganda piece, this subliminal attack on masculinity, and everything else on the SJW spectrum being, promoting homosexuality, promoting fat acceptance, promoting feminism, promoting emasculation. It's all part of that. Now, you can look him up. I'm not going to put the link in the description box, but you can look up a guy named Yuri Bezimov, and he broke down exactly what's going on right now. He broke down how the Soviet Union would send agents into countries, and they'd use this very same type of propaganda and programming to undermine that culture, that society, and that system, so communism can come over there and take over. Think long and hard about this, guys. Just remember, this video, this presentation is fair use. I'm using fair use for critique, criticism, commentary of the Gillette short film, and Gillette's paying the price for it. Their stocks are going down. They've gotten a lot of pushback on this video for the crap they spewed out. That's it. This is a long video. I'm going to break it up into 2 parts. This is Grizzly Rising. I am reporting from behind enemy lines. I hope you all are doing well today, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.